everyone, welcome back to Daily Freddo. Whether you're a fan of MMA or not, you might have heard this name, Sean Strickland. He's currently one of, if not the most controversial figures in the mixed martial arts scene. And with his big fight with Israel Adesanya coming up, a lot of his controversial interviews resurfaced again. Some love him, some hate him, there is literally no middle ground here. And today I am going to be watching some juicy moments of his recent interviews for the very first time and see if I'll get offended by what he says. Apparently there is a big chance for that, so let's dive in.
I believe fat shaming is okay if the person you're fat shaming is someone you love.
I think fat shaming is always okay. There's nothing worse than being next to a fat, smelly motherfucker. And the most human thing you could do is telling a fat, smelly motherfucker to put down the fork.
Okay, so if I had to form my opinion about Sean Strickland based off of this first impression, I'd say his heart is in the right place, I think. But he enjoys shocking people way too much to filter what he says. In our society today, you can't call someone fat. You are not even allowed to notice their weight because it's offensive. But I think it's different with men and women. Women would get offended. Men, from what I observed, can still be honest with each other. I know many guys that would tell their friend, come on, you got fat, time to hit the gym. And guess what? There are no tears. They either hit the gym or they ignore it. I honestly enjoy reacting to MMA fighters' interviews. I find them very entertaining. Maybe I should make it a series. Well, if I do, make sure you don't miss it. So subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications to be the first to know when I do another one of those episodes. Anyway.
I'm not saying that the world will be a better place with more of me, but you guys need to get hit by your dads a little bit more. Not even hit, not discipline. You guys don't need to be like, I didn't take out the trash, hit. You guys need to get like an alcoholic rage, and then you'll start learning how to have, nuts.
Okay, I see how this would be taken a bit, but it makes sense if you know a little bit about his background. I found out that he actually had a very rough childhood, so I think what he's trying to say here is that his difficult past is his motivation to be a better fighter. And basically what he means is that you need to be a tougher person in life. And the only way to get that toughness is to go through things. But we already established that he likes to shock, he likes to get reaction out of people, so that's how he will phrase things, even when he talks about those sensitive subjects.
You talk a big game and all this, but then we watch The Embedded and you're there with your girlfriend going on long walks.
Oh, guys, I'm a soft motherfucker, you guys. I'm telling you, my girl will go away for a week, and then you'll find me in my apartment looking around at all my furniture and shit in my bed frame, like cleaning guns, like a weirdo. And I start thinking, like, who the fuck am I? Why do I have all this shit? Where the fuck am I? I don't even recognize myself. So here's the thing, guys. Women are the glue to society. And that's why I try to tell you guys that, yeah, women don't need to work. They need to stay home and raise a family. But women are the glue to society. If right now all women were to vanish off this fucking world, I would eat you motherfuckers. I would go straight cannibalism. One day would go by. You think I'd be, right now, you take all women off this planet. Do you continue doing what you do?
I take the earring out.
I know you should take that already out now. But no, you take all women off this planet, dude, and I mean, I might just put a bullet in my head. What is the point at this point? No, I gotta make my own food, fold my own laundry. What is the point, right?
Okay, so few things here. He admits that life has no meaning without a woman, which is true. If you're in a good relationship, there is a certain dynamic happening. Woman becomes somehow the life manager for the man, for the kids, for the household. So when that woman is gone, the man gets a wake-up call. Obviously, he said there, without a woman who would cook for me, who would do my laundry, 100% this is a joke, and he's trying to push some buttons. It's not a very sophisticated joke, but I'm sure it is one. I actually noticed that his sense of humor, the things he says, remind me of the boys in junior year of high school. Fart jokes, fat jokes, dirty jokes, just like a teenage boy. But now with a lot of money and enjoying offending people. Because a lot of people still have that high school mindset and get offended by raw jokes like that. Have rallies about it, wear wristbands. Sean does not remind me of a healthy-minded man per se, but he reminds me of the healthier times, when people were tougher, could take an insult and said something back, not crawled back into their bedrooms and tweeted about it, just saying.
So what sort of woman does it take to be with Sean Strickland, I wonder?
No, dude, actually, if you ever met my girl, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing with him? She's actually 2 degrees, East Coast girl. Actually solid, you guys. What I do, though, I don't tag her or anything. I don't fucking put her in my interviews. I hide her away. As far as she knows, I got a double life.
It sounds there at the end as if he said something bad, but actually he says he keeps her out of the public eye. He speaks highly of her, in his own words, of course. It looks like he puts out this controversial persona for UFC, and in private, he's a good man to his woman. I'm speculating, of course.
The problem is we're trying to create a p***fied world. That's just the facts. You have the leftist organization trying to castrate all the men where you can't even hit a motherfucker that deserves it. There's a lot of nutless men out there bringing the masculinity down. And here's the thing: if you talk shit, you should get hit.
I mean, hard to disagree with that. Today's society only supports masculinity in women and encourages femininity in men. Now, I'm not saying that being a real man means having fights, beating each other up, but it used to be about the man being strong, to be able to protect and support his family. Now the push is toward the other side. Men are encouraged to be soft. You see a rising numbers of transgender women. Boys are being literally told that they can choose to be girls. So yes, maybe not in those exact words, but I agree with Sean here.
By the way, dude, when I make fun of gays, dude, I love gay men, dude. Gay men are awesome. Lesbians, not so much. Lesbians hate me. Lesbians look at me like the guy that hurt them. I'm not the guy. I'm not your father.
This is not a therapy session.
But gay men look at me like they want to me, and I respect that. You know, they compliment me. They slide in my DM. I get some pics every now and then.
Okay, no, I have to check the comments on this one. Someone says, I think I just fell in love. Really? This made you fall in love? Okay. Damn, I like this guy. He's something else. He is something else. And another one, I couldn't stop laughing my ass off. Sean is like a trip back to 2005. And here we agree. You know, I think people really miss the times when there was no beating around the bush when it came to difficult topics. Today we have trigger warnings, inclusive language, safe spaces. Everything is so cushioned. So when we get someone like Strickland using the rough language, testing the limits what he can say, we actually enjoy it. It's almost refreshing and even entertaining at times to some people.
There was a transgender, I don't know what you call him. I mean,
a woman, male or woman?
It was a
male
he
to
had
female?
Any right. Dress. And this guy, dude, he would go spar, and my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend at the time, would go spar these women and like break their noses and like hook them up and like.
There's a lot of that.
And he'd go in the locker room. He has a family. He had, you know, later on in transition, you know, family, go in the locker room, you know.
You can't compete against women.
Yeah. But man, I'll tell you
it's
what.
not fair in any way, shape, or form.
What can I say? I agree with him. There is no place for biological men in women's sports, especially in combat sports. It's incredible that it was ever allowed and women got seriously injured in the name of political correctness. In this case, I am in favor of not sugarcoating the subject and just calling things as they are. And by now I realize that Sean Strickland makes a bit of a controversial statement, but this one is not controversial. This is just facts.
I remember I was about 14 years old, just kind of miserable, angry. I walked in the gym the first time, and then it was the first time in my life I've ever felt happiness. Even talking about it, like it kind of tears me up because it brings me back to like that first day of happiness. Man, the world's rough. You're designed to be insecure, and a lot of people, man, walk into a gym, go spar, go grapple. It's like brothership, it's a home. You know, my entire life, everybody who's kind of put me down, who kicked me out, they're all white. Everybody who's actually held out their hand and said, hey, Sean, even me, after saying all this crazy shit when I was a kid, everybody who held out their hand, who tried to help me, either black or Mexican. At some point, you take a step back and you look and you're like, man, like the world is not what you think it is.
Imagine being a struggling teenager, angry physically and mentally. You become vulnerable target. The fact that he wandered into a gym and not spiraled down a very bad path, that's great. Actually amazing. Good for him. Also the comment about people of color. He has been known for making racist comments in the past. He was very racist when he was a teenager, but he evolved and his views are changing, and that's why at the end there he's saying that world is not what you think it is. He's been through rough stuff and came out the other side. Some people said, I'm glad you walked into that gym, Sean, because win or lose, you're a better person than most out there. Seems to me you have morals and some dignity and some sharp edges, but who doesn't these days? Let's go, champ. And another one, Sean is an example of an unapologetic guy who is just himself. We need more of this rather than the people trying to police others' behavior and force everyone to be walking alphabet people drone. Okay, so my final impression of Sean Strickland, he's a troll. He loves the attention, he loves to shock people, he says stuff that will spark a reaction, but I also get a feeling that he's not a bad guy. I actually agree with a lot of things he says. Not the way he says them maybe, but the message in general. Granted, I only saw a few clips of him, so I'll rely on you guys to tell me if my gut feeling about him is correct. Anyway, thank you for watching. I know it's not my usual type of content, but you guys loved my reaction to Khabib's interview, which I am linking right here. And especially now that we have Cyprus representative, Haralambos Grigoriou, who joined in August with a perfect KO. I'm really considering doing these types of videos on a regular basis on my channel. So let me know what you think about this idea in the comments. And if you want to see more content, you can click on one of those 2 videos, and of course subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications to never miss another Daily Freddo episode. And if you want even more content, follow me on Instagram at Daily Freddo. That's all for today. Have a good one.
I appreciate this. Without you guys, I would probably be a piece of somewhere. Now I'm a piece of with money. Let's go!